What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fishing's YouTube channel. Now, before we get to Carter's interview, this is a deck list that he used to get top 4 at Virginia State. And as you see, it is a Bronzong deck. And of course, Bronzong does have the ability Metal Links, which lets you, once during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Metal Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And of course, you can attach that to one of the, like a Dialga, Aegislash, Mewtwo, Heatran. And you usually don't attach to Keldeo, but you could if you need to. And just depends on the situation and what attacker you want to use. And of course, ask about a Mewtwo and stuff like that. Besides that, the deck seems pretty much straightforward. Ask about the split between the Megaphone and Xerosic, because that is an interesting thing. Because ask him why does he not play 2 Xerosic or 2 Megaphone, something like that. So hopefully you enjoyed the interview, and thanks for watching. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fishing's YouTube channel. Today we're doing another State's question answer video with Carter. And Carter, where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, and what states did you play at this weekend?
I played at Virginia States.
Okay, and how'd you end up doing a Swiss?
I went 5-1-1 in Swiss and made top 8 at 4th seed.
Okay, what were some of the decks that you played against, and did you win or lose against them?
My first 3 rounds, actually, I played against 3 Yveltal Gargador in a row, and I started off 3-0.
Wait, how'd you end up doing that?
Round 1, I actually played against my good friend Nate Blevins, and that was probably the hardest series of the entire tournament, besides top 4. But it's a really finicky matchup. It's like, honestly, the only reason I won that is because he prized 2 Garbodors game 3, and I set up like a savage. There's nothing he can do about that.
True.
And round 2, my opponent, AJ Frazier, I believe. I actually felt bad, but my moral compass, I guess, was on more than it should have been, because game 1 was over really quickly, and game 2, he had no hand and 1 Pokemon on board, and I was completely set up. And I'm like, I don't really feel like taking a win like that, so I end him, and he proceeds to take a 6-2 comeback and win game 2. So it was like, all right, let's not do that again.
True.
And I played game 3 much more seriously and just ended up getting there.
Okay.
And same kind of thing happened. I just got really lucky with my first 3 rounds, because my round 3 opponent dead drew 2 games in a row.
All it takes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And
round 4, I played against. I believe that was the round I played against Michael Premelot and lost.
Okay.
We had just gotten back from a break, and I was just out of it. I wasn't focusing. I was sitting next to 2 friends on either side, and I was like trying to watch both of their games at the same time while also playing my own.
Yeah.
I was doing awful stuff. Like, I roped his Virizion to the active spot, and I was missing energy attaches, just completely out of it. I was like,
oh, what deck was he playing?
He was playing Virizion Genesect, my bad.
Okay, you're good, man.
And he actually, it was interesting because he played lasers in there, and I hadn't actually, I've tested it, but I haven't seen a good Virizion Genesect list with lasers.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Michael Premelot ended up getting ninth at that tournament, so.
Oh.
But at least he was helping my resistance.
Yeah, that's true.
Round 5, I played against Dean Neslim.
Okay.
He was playing Virizion Genesect also. And game 1 was really close, but he ended up getting 3 consecutive G-boosters off, and I lost. And I'm like, well, I don't think I won that. I don't think anybody really wins when they G-booster 3 times in a row.
Nah.
And games 2 and 3, I kept chrono-winding his Virizion before he could attack with Emerald Slash, so he couldn't actually energy accelerate.
Okay.
And that completely just destroys that matchup if I can get the Chrono Wind off before he gets an Emerald Slash off.
Mm-hmm.
And round 6, I can't actually remember who I played against. This makes me feel bad. But must not have been a very memorable match.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was... Oh, round 6, I played against Christian Ortiz. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember. And he was playing Night March, and gave that man a 2-0 and a handshake. That matchup is very, very, very hard for him to win.
Yeah, true.
Because of Aegislash. He attaches a DCE, and he can't hit it at all. And he only played a couple basic energy or a few. I don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
But I just kept Lysandering whenever he attached somewhere. It's like, and he did take a knockout with Mew at one point, but I just put 3 energies in a Muscle Band on Iga Slash and one-shot the Mew right back.
Okay.
And round 7, I ended up IDing against my top 8 opponent.
Okay.
Lucas, I'm gonna butcher his last name. Nesselrot? Nesselrot? I'm just gonna.
Sounds good enough.
That. He was also playing Night March, and I was well aware of that. And I'm like, I kind of want more of these in top 8.
True.
So I ended up playing him in top 8, and game 1 he Quadra Compressored turn 1 and Junipered, and I lost that. That was a little unnerving because it took a while for him to win the matchup, and I'm like, well, if we go to time and he wins game 1, it's not really where I want to be.
Yeah, true.
So game 2 also ended up taking a little while. But I got there. I don't actually think he took a prize that game.
Okay.
But game 3, it was like, we had like 5 minutes left in the round, and I was disregarding conserving resources and just junipering every turn. And he ended up scooping that, because I believe I had a turn 2 Iga Slash that was one-shotting his Muse.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't win that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
In top 4, I played against Christian Ortiz again, so I hit 2 Night Marchers in a row, and I'm like, well, this is great. And
Yeah.
I ended up taking game 1. It was much closer than it needed to be, because I benched a Mew. I don't know what made me decide, or not Mew, Mewtwo, my bad.
It's okay.
I don't know what made me think benching a Mewtwo in that match was a good idea, but I had a Juniper and a Mewtwo in my hand, and I just didn't really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up being 2 free prizes for him. And I actually won that game, but when he had 1 prize left.
Okay.
So game 2, I prized an Iga Slash and 2 Bronzors and a Dialga. And he wins that pretty quickly. But mind you, game 1 took a long time.
Okay.
And he wins that pretty quickly. It's like,
okay.
And game 3 was the game that I just didn't have much benched, and I was Iga Slashing. And game 3, he gets a turn 1 Archie. I think I got that part wrong. I'm just confused.
Okay.
But and he does get the early setup. He gets a lot of Night Marchers, and I think on turn 4 he was one-shotting stuff, and I didn't hit an Iga Slash until like turn 4. So he'd taken a couple free prizes off of Bronzors, and he ends up having to Lysander up my Keldeo and attack command it. And I'm like, well, that's good, because I turn around and one-shot his Empoleon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty nice, because if I'd missed the energy attached there, I think I probably just lost the game, because I'm pretty sure he had Mew energy for the game next turn. But he didn't have a way to kill the Iga Slash.
Okay.
So I killed the Empoleon and end up Lysandering up his Mew that was on the bench, because he was looking for the cards he needed to one-shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I killed that. And I'm at 2 prizes, he's at 1. And the turn, when I had 4 prizes left, I end him down to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I take those 2 prizes, so I have 2 prizes left, he has 1. I've got like 6 cards in hand. He has nothing but 3 Joltics on the board. And off the end of 1, he grabs a VS Seeker for teammates for Escape Rope DCE game.
Man, that's crazy.
That's a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I rematched him the next day at League, because he's a local player now. He moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually ended up beating him in that series. So it's like...
Why couldn't I have done this the other day kind of thing?
Exactly. It's like, I guess life goes on.
Yeah, true. But still, top 4 is very good. So, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
Just a couple shout-outs. This list actually wasn't mine.
Uh-huh.
This is the same list that won Delaware States, but 1 card's changed. There was a teammates in there before, and we took the teammates out for a second Mewtwo.
Okay. And why'd y'all decide to play 2 Mewtwo?
We were just thinking, and if you notice, I do play 4 VS Seeker, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you're compressoring away a teammate's early game and you have 4 VS Seeker to play, you're just in a really good spot because you can pretty much have perpetual access to teammates when you always have a VS Seeker, unless they're toading you. But toad's not really a problem because I chrono win the toad and they have to break the lock.
True.
And we actually cut the teammates because we didn't see many other Mewtwo's. So it's like, if they're not playing Mewtwo DCE, they have a hard time one-shotting my Mewtwo back.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a Mewtwo with 9 energy on it, sometimes I can just sweep a game like that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's actually how my buddy Greg won Delaware States. He was one-shotting a Mega Manetric. It was fun to watch. Yeah.
Okay, so why did y'all decide to play the one Heatran?
We just didn't want to just lose to Safeguarders.
Hmm.
And it's good against Night March too, because it one-shots everything in the deck. You can Steel Drop for 100 with a Muscle Band, which is really strong against... I mean, Night Marchers don't usually have much HP unless they have a... I don't know how much HP Lampet has, but that's a ridiculous scenario anyway.
I think it has like 90? Maybe less than that. I don't know.
If it has 90, a Lampet with a Hard Charm can get there, but I don't think that's ever going to arise.
Yeah. Can't remember exactly.
But the Heatran is really good against Safeguarders.
Okay, alright. So, y'all play one Xerosic and one Megaphone. Did you ever want a second Xerosic, or was the 1-1 split good?
I actually felt like the second Xerosic would have been helpful in a lot of the matches. Because Garbodor hurts, but a lot of the time, if they have a Garbodor on the bench, that's taking up bench spaces for them to have a lot of attackers. So I'm going to Chrono Win them, and they're going to be forced to retreat into a new attacker. And if I Chrono Win that, they're just going to have a bunch of damage spread around the board. And if there's a Garbodor, and a lot of the time they set up 2 Trubbish, they're just running out of attackers. And it's kind of hard to one-shot the bulky 180 HP Dialga. Yeah, I feel like if there's one change that I would have made to the list beforehand, it probably would have been taking out one VS Seeker for a Steel Shelter. Because sometimes, like, counter stadiums are perfect.
Yeah, true.
I don't think I would have won if any of my matches if they just dropped a Silent Lab. Because then I don't have access to Aegislash. I can't rush in to attach energies to my Dialga or whatever I'm using to attack in that scenario, which is really hurtful because then I have to manually retreat and then I can't get back to that one attacker if it's my only out to one-shot stuff.
Okay.
So I think that's the one change I would make, definitely.
So why'd you decide to play this deck?
I actually hadn't played Metal at any tournaments all season, but my buddy Greg was doing... Honestly, he actually wasn't doing that well with it in testing. He was, he had been dropping a lot of games, but I'm like, what in this meta really beats it? Like, hands down. I guess the hardest matchup, there was a guy playing Verzi and Pyroar. There were multiple of those, and I'm like, I just kept hoping I would dodge those, and I did. Ended up doing.
Okay.
It's like, but other than Pyroar and somebody's playing Camerupt, it's pretty easy. Flareon's iffy, but once again, Aegislash comes in huge in that matchup.
That's true.
And I feel like for the most part, all of the matchups are 50-50, if not in my favor. Like Yveltal Garbodor, for example.
Okay. Well, how many championship wins you at right now?
Right now, I'm at 259.
259. All right. So are you maxed out league challenges yet?
No, I think I'm at 76 points off of league challenges.
Okay. All right. And are you going to go to any regionals coming up?
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Georgia regionals, so I need to start testing next format a lot.
You're not going to go any before then?
No, I think Georgia's the only one that's open to me right now.
Okay, all right. And I know it's kind of further away, but are you thinking about any decks for that regionals? They're too far away.
It really just depends on how good Rayquaza is. Because who really knows until they actually have time to test it and see what the matchups look like.
True.
And if it's good, I'm either going to play Rayquaza or counter Rayquaza. And if Rayquaza's that good, I might have to play counter to the counter of Rayquaza.
Yeah, it's a lot of Theorymon you have to do.
Yeah, it's a struggle for sure, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna play it by ear at this point and
Okay.
just do what I can.
Well, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody else?
I just shout out to RVA, Richmond Comics.
Okay.
This was Virginia's 5th states win. So Virginia players that went there won 5 states. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, hey, if anybody wants to come take a shot at Virginia States next year, good luck.
I know there was some Virginia players down in Tennessee. I guess they want to help defend y'all's title.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Darn. We'll have to find out who that was and disown them.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this, man. Congrats on getting top 4.
No problem. Thank you.
Alrighty, bye.
Peace out.